Hey everyone, you're here with Mark Boutwell, Grow Coach here at PerfectGardens.com. Our mission every day is to help you grow while making decisions in line with our values. I don't know if anyone's ever checked out 420 Magazine, but we highly recommend to going there. There's tons of content. We post like crazy over the last 6 years. Our team has posted probably well over 5 to 6,000 posts from JJ Bones to myself as well. So on this one particular one, I thought it was a really great question, and I felt it was worth creating a small video. So this is the first time grower, and he's wondering I am 2 weeks from when he's 2 weeks from harvest, and he's wondering how does he tell. Well, over my experience, this is a very difficult question to answer. The reason why is because every grower does not take the same considerations into their environment. Second, the amount of times they've grown the strain. So third, it would be, of course, as you're working with a plant, you'd know whether it's a heavy sativa, heavy indica, or a hybrid, and you'd be able to figure out its characteristics, because sometimes people will say, oh, it's hard it's ready to harvest when it gets hard, or it's when the hairs turn uh, red, or when the crystal production, or whatever. But you guys have to remember that the plants do not read the textbooks, and people that are making recommendations, they're making general recommendations that most likely their friends told them, or they read something somewhere on the internet. So most people, a lot of people, and then they take that information and then they verify it themselves. And then if they only stick to that information versus trying different things and recording their observations, they will really never know when is it the ideal time to harvest, or how far you are actually away from harvesting, dealing with that specific strain or phenotype. So, the environment though is so crucial. It's so important. Most people do not take into consideration the environment. They want to provide more nutrients. They want to get bigger lights. But at the end of the day, your environment is absolutely everything. It is 80% of the work. The fertilizer, the nutrients, the lights, the grow lights, whatever, which all those things are part of the environment. I don't want to say that they're not part of the environment. I'm saying that your mindset of when it's about the trees from the forest. If you go down and you look, is it the fertilizer? Is it the light? That's looking at the trees. But when you take a far enough step back, you realize that the fertilizer, the lights, the water, the temperature of the water, the temperature of the environment, the temperature right above the canopies, the temperature, the humidity, around the soil area, all those things are little microenvironments that, if not taken into consideration, uh, dramatically plays a dramatic role on the health of the plant. The plant, if it is extremely healthy, week 5, 6, and 7 will be your greatest yields. If it is a hybrid or indica, if it is a sativa or a heavy sativa and it's finishing out in it's a 12 weeker. Well, your best yields, or the when it's going to really fill in is going to be weeks 11, 10, and 9. So 9, 10, and 11. So how do you know when it is at that stage? Again, it's difficult to say, because you have to really grow the plant a couple times, and then while you're growing that plant, also take into consideration your level of experience and your environment, and how consistent your environment is. If your environment is extremely consistent, your plant will do its very best to adjust to that environment and then yield as much as it can. But if your environment is changing dramatically, the plant will constantly keep altering and changing, and putting its energy into different parts of the plant, because it's trying to adjust to the environment to gain some stable ground. Uh, in really taking a little bit further thought to it, it's not just your environment, but the consistent environment. Having a consistent environment is so essential for your plants. That is the first, that is absolutely essential. You know, if you're gonna have a hot room, do your best to have a hot room the majority of the time. If you can't drop it, you can't drop it. It's the best you can. And then do your best so that your temperatures aren't going from 100 degrees to 50 degrees. Because if you can imagine yourself getting on a plane, going to Alaska where it's in the winter where it's negative 40 degrees, and then jump on a plane again, come back to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's still 90 to 100, and then spend a day there, and then jump back onto Alaska and keep going back and forth, back and forth. What will that do to your immune system? And then at the end of the day, let's say you have a race. Well, how are you going to be performing a couple weeks right before you're supposed to start your race or finish your race in a sense? Um, you know, if you're so consistent environments are absolutely essential. I'm not trying to tell you what to look for. I'm trying to provide the information to you to how to get there so that you can figure out consistently what 2 weeks before. And you know, actually, a last thing too, a very simple solution would be just get a calendar and mark it. So when you switch your flights from 12 hours on to 12 hours off, that's day one of flowering, or day zero. And then from there, you just keep counting them out. And if you record your numbers, if you can't measure it, you can't. If you will not, if you won't measure it, you won't manage it. Okay, so it's all about the will to take that little extra effort to be the best you can be and keep achieving that master grower level. Thanks so much and have a great day, guys.